Hey guys, we are back with more Detroit Red Wings Eastside Hockey Manager. And last time we went through free agency, and this time we're still in free agency, but we have to make a trade. We have to trade Martin Lapointe because there's a lot of players like him and that are cheaper, right? He's at 2.6 per year for the next 3 years, and it's just he's not worth it. And we need to free up a lot of cap as well. We need to free up almost $2 million. So we're gonna look for a trade for Lapointe. I mean, and then when you take a look at Darren McCarty, guys like him, he's only at like $2 million per year, and he's got 3 years left as well. And he's according to the comparing players at least, McCarty is much more talented in terms of technical skills than Lapointe is. So I think, yeah, we can trade Lapointe for sure. So let's offer him out to all here. Ooh, we get a lot of offers. So a 4th round pick, 4th round pick, 4th round pick, 4th round pick, 4th round pick. Jesus, is he really not that valuable? Man, we got a lot of 4th round. Is there any like thirds? Yes, the Flyers. Okay. The Sharks, the Lightning, the Canucks, and that's about it. So we can eliminate all those 4th round picks. So we're not going to get a player back for Martin Lapointe. That's fine. So let's cancel all these. Nope, gotta leave that on there. Cancel that. Cancel that. I believe the Sharks offer us a 3rd. Yep. The Lightning offers a 3rd. Maple Leafs cancel. Canucks, they offered us a 3rd, and that's it. So we have 4 offers on the table. All of them are 3rd round picks. Just a matter of which team we want to trade with, I suppose, and which year we want the 3rd round pick to be in as well. Either 2001 or 2002. Let's check out our transactions here. Let's view draft picks. So 2001, we have 8 picks, and then 2002, we have 7. You know what? I think we could use a pick for 2002. So I'm going to take the Lightning's offer here. And, yep, we'll do that right now. There you go. So we got Martin Lapointe out of here. He was a good little player, but again, we needed to free up some cap. And while we're on the topic of cap, we only have $300,000 to work with. So there's no way we're going to be able to sign any free agents here. So what I'm thinking that we're going to have to do here, at least to start off, is sign a couple of rookie defensemen. And I think one of those guys has to be Yuri Fisher. He had a 7.35 average rating in the USHL last year, so we are gonna sign him. Jesus. But here's the thing about him: he's only got a salary of $450,000 per year, so that's good, and a 2-way clause too. So if we send him down, you know, he won't cost as much as he would in the NHL. So we'll give him that, and we also, I think, are gonna but we would have to wait for this. We would have to wait for like a transfer agreement on this guy too, though. I think I would rather sign Marc-Andre Bergeron or maybe some depth defenseman in free agency. Let's see if, yeah, we're going to have to do that. So I will sort by defensemen who are free agents. So let's see here. Contract status, NHL free agents, unrestricted. There you go. So there's all the defensemen. So I'm going to want, let's see, someone who could just kind of hold his own, just play top 6 minutes there. This guy doesn't look too bad of a defenseman. I'd like that anticipation to be better. Peter Popovich. What was his stats last year? He was on the Rangers, -11. No, thank you. Bill Berg. This guy could play forward and defense. He was in the Dell last year, 7.53. He is a free agent though. So it's not like we would have to wait for a transfer for him. He might not be bad. Bobby Dallas. He's not too bad either. Got the poke check, got the positioning, got the hitting, got the anticipation, the teamwork, the work rate. I mean, what was his stats last year? 6.69 average rating, -9. I mean, none of these guys back here are going to be that good, you know. But they fit our financial situation. Kevin Dean, maybe? Let's see, what was his stats? for last year. He played on the Devils, 6.65. Eh. I mean, I like his anticipation right there. How much would he want? Core player, 1 mil. See, even this, we can't afford any of these guys here in free agency. I think we're just gonna have to settle for rookies once again. Yeah, we're just gonna have to. Yeah, we're just gonna have to sign Marc-Andre Bergeron, boys. There's absolutely no. I mean, he wants 700,000. So what if I could get him for a little less here? 650,000. Signing bonus of 10,000. And no bonus. Yeah, we're really straining for cap here, boys. And then we're also gonna have to sign this guy, Kevin Hodgson, for our backup goaltender. I mean, we're gonna be over the cap again, boys. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna be over the cap no matter what. We'll go a couple days here to see what happens with our rookies, but man, it's not looking good in terms of the cap. We might have to end up. We might. I didn't want to say this, but we might have to end up trading someone like Sergei Fedorov or Brendan Shanahan because there's just. I mean, I'll explain it here later, like as soon as we get our prospects signed and everything. But when are our prospects going to sign? All right, there we go. We got Yuri Fisher, and we got Marc-Andre Bergeron. Okay, there we go. So we got both of those guys on our team now. So at least we have 6 defensemen. So, yeah, 6 defensemen. There we go. But here's the thing about guys like Fedorov and Lidstrom and Yzerman and Shanahan is that, okay, so let's put it into perspective here. We have a salary cap of $44 million, right? And of these 4 players, they're taking up over half of our salary cap. Between these 4. So, and to put it in perspective here, what's today's NHL salary cap? Like 73 million, I think. And then let's say we divide 73 by 44. That's roughly 1.6. So then you take that 1.6 and multiply that into the salary of Sergei Fedorov, Nicholas Lidstrom, Steve Yzerman, and Brendan Shanahan. And you'll see that we're paying Fedorov, Yzerman, and Shanahan over $10 million each in today's NHL money. Right? So that's way too much money to be paying for of your players. And then Lidstrom is almost, I'd say, is roughly at $9 million in today's NHL cap. If the cap in this game were to be 73 million, we would have these guys all at that salary. So that's way too much money. That's like having 2 of Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane each. Like 2 Jonathan Toews and 2 Patrick Kanes on your team. I mean, that sounds dirty, but again, that's way too much money to be paying, and you're sacrificing a lot of depth. I mean, we're gonna right now we're gonna have to pay. We're gonna be having to play 2 rookies here in Yuri Fisher and Marc-Andre Bergeron, neither of which I want to play really this year. So, I mean, I guess we'll see how it goes. And we still need a goalie, keep in mind. And as I said, I guess we'll see how it goes. But I think we're going to need to trade either Shanahan or Fedorov. Because we're not trading Lidstrom. He is the backbone of that defensive core. We can't trade Yzerman. He's on a no-trade contract. So it's got to be either Shanahan or Fedorov. But I think if I were to choose one of them, it would be Shanahan. Just because Fedorov or Yzerman is 35. And once he retires, who do we have at center, you know? And center, in my opinion, is more important to have than a winger, a star winger. So I think we would, if it comes down to it, we're going to have to trade someone like Brendan Shanahan. Not yet. I want to see how everything plays out with the current team, because we were still really good last year, even though we didn't have too much depth. It was just the lack of it was just Chris Osgood getting injured in the playoffs that hurt us, right? So what I'm thinking is that we'll start off the year with this roster, but if one of the following things happens, then we need to seriously consider trading Brendan Shanahan or Sergei Fedorov or whoever. If Chris Osgood underperforms or is injured, we're going to have to trade one of those guys, because then we're going to have to trade for another solid goaltender who can back up Osgood, you know? Another situation is if our two rookie defensemen, Yuri Fisher and Marc-Andre Bergeron, drop the ball, which I'm honestly not expecting them, either of these two, to put together too good of a season. Maybe Fisher could pull it off because he's got that positioning and that hitting and the checking down, but I don't think Marc-Andre Bergeron is ready here, boys. He might be another few years. And another situation is if one of these guys like Eisman or Fedorov or anyone really, if any one of those stars gets injured and then we start having a bad season, we have to trade one of them. There's no avoiding it at this point, right? So I think again we'll start with what we have. Obviously we'll need a goaltender, but I think if we start to fall off, then we are going to have to seriously consider trading one of these core four. So don't expect the core four here, Fedorov, Lidstrom, Eisman, and Shanahan, to be together for too much longer, because it's just the way it is with the salary cap. It's not looking good. It's really not. And we don't even have we have Potomsky and Jacques, or however you pronounce that, in the minors. That's it. We have no one else in the minors. Literally no one. So, yeah, there's just... Well, I mean, we're probably going to be able to send Ward down. We'll probably send Hossa down. We'll probably send Lombardi down. And probably to juniors as well. Yeah, we'll probably send Lombardi back to juniors. I'd imagine Hossa will send back to the juniors as well. And we'll probably send Ward back to juniors. But, yeah, there's nothing we can do depth-wise. We can't sign anybody. So... it's just that's the downfall of having too many stars on your team, you know. You got to choose between stars, and then you also got to choose between depth. So, and personally, if I had to choose, I would choose depth. But the way this team is, you know, we're just gonna have to deal with the amount of studs we have. I mean, I'm not complaining about that. If we could afford all of them, I would keep all of them. Like this isn't the kind of player that I want to trade. But again, the salary cap says so otherwise. We're literally 100,000 below the salary cap in terms of average club salary. So, and this is the number that matters when it comes to the salary cap. Like, don't pay attention to this number. This number is for the player budget. You match this up with a player budget, but the salary cap is the average club salary. So, and we're just below the ceiling when it comes to the salary cap. So, there's as I said, there's not a whole lot we can do here now in free agency. We just have to kind of roll with this and hope for the best. I mean, after hearing what I have had to say, if you guys' minds aren't changed about having these four studs on the team all at one time, then I don't know what to say, because that's literally just our only option here if we want to include depth on our team. So as I said, we'll go into the regular season with this team to see how it does without the depth, right? But if we start to falter or see anything that makes us look that wouldn't be a playoff contender or a Stanley Cup champion, as you know, for that matter, we're gonna have to make some changes. So I will skip the rest of free agency, and I'll see you guys in preseason. All right, boys, we are on September 1st now, and we're here in the preseason, so let's schedule our preseason games here. So September 14th, let's do a good old rivalry here. I'm pretty sure it's a rivalry anyway, the Dallas Stars, and let's do September 16th. Let's Chicago maybe. Nope. Okay, we'll go with another rivalry. One I'm sure is a rivalry, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's see. Now let's do an away game. Let's do playoff style here. Let's do maybe St. Louis. Are they available? Yes, they are. All right, perfect. And we will face Columbus because they're technically in the NHL now at this point anyway. They shouldn't have been until this simulation year, but that's the game needing 30 teams. So Colorado, that is a rivalry for sure. And let's schedule 2 more here. Let's go. Let's see. Minnesota. Yeah, sure, whatever. And then on the 26th, we will face New Jersey. There you go. All right, so got that all out of the way. I got training camp all set up. And we should be in for a good season this year, boys. Hopefully, again, we gotta hope that Marc-Andre Bergeron and Yuri Fischer can do their jobs, but I don't think they're. I'm doubtful. I have my doubts. And Lombardi, Ahosa, and Ward, I'm pretty sure can all be sent down. Yes, they can all be sent down to juniors. So after training camp, we'll send them all down. And we'll just have to, we'll go from there. And there is our preseason schedule. For confidence, delighted, I would imagine. Now, let's get to that preseason here, and let's set up the lines and everything as we sim through the days. And we have an important notification requesting name captains, Yzerman, Lidstrom, and Shanahan. Yeah, there you go. Even though Shanahan may not be here for too much longer. And I mean, again, let me know in the comments about that. I think that if we want to build a team with depth on it, then that's a good idea. And I think eventually we're going to need to do that as well. Just with especially with the amount of injuries that happen in this game. Yeah, we may have to. I think at some point this year we're going to have to trade. We're going to have to trade one of those guys. All right, so getting close to the 14th here. All right, there we go. Let's go to the roster. Let's fill everyone in. Roster in all lines except Ward and Hosa and Lombardi. All right, there you go. And clear lines. There you go. And Osgood's in there. We will sign numbers. Yzerman. 19. Oh, 19 is grayed out, boys. I can't assign Yzerman number 19. All right. And 91 is taken, of course, by Fedorov. So guess we're going to have to go with 20 for Steve Yzerman. That looks so weird. But Brendan Shanahan, number 14. Fisher and Lombardi. Not going to assign a number to Lombardi just yet. I'll take 81 off Hosa, and I'll take 42 off Ward. And there you go. I think that is good. Yep, everything looks good there. Bergeron and Fisher, Eriksson, Ward, Krupp, and Lidstrom. And then first line, Shanahan, Yzerman, Fedorov. Might be the last time you see that. Kozlov, Datsuk, McCarty, Holmstrom, Draper, Malpe, Brunette, Rogers, and Butsiev. And then Osgood and Elliott. Confirm. And let's get into the preseason here. Game against the Stars. Here we go. First period, Sloan and from Madano and Roberts. Second period, Eriksson from Datsuk, McCarty from Kozlov and Ward, and then Kozlov from Fedorov and Butsiev on the power play. Third period, and we are tied going into overtime. Fedorov from Eriksson and Kozlov on the power play, and we're going to a shootout. What do we have? We have a win with goals by Datsuk and Yzerman. Very nice. All right. Pretty solid, pretty solid. I mean, it's only preseason. Not going to get too excited. So, let's keep going here. And not going to view this game. We'll just quick sim past it. Because we are pretty deep into this video. I believe we're like almost 20 minutes in at this point. So, yep, game against the Blues, 5-4. Yeah, so it's like we're still scoring goals, obviously, because of mainly because of the first line, I would imagine. But I would imagine we also have some depth problems. Like, we're going to probably see our third and fourth line having, like, tremendous minus seasons, like minus 10, minus 20 even, maybe. And Dasuk injury, yeah. That's the other problem. If we get any injuries whatsoever, we're done for in terms of depth. We're going to have to double shift people, you know? And just, I don't know how long that's going to be able to last. Game against the Wild, 8-1. I mean, yeah, that's the Wild in year 2000. And they weren't even supposed to exist until this year, right? So, same with the Blue Jackets. So, I mean, that's not really too impressive there. But let's see, NHL season preview. Where are we at? We are 13th. MVP, Nicholas Lidstrom, Kia Steve Eisman. I mean, he should have been here in the first place. It was just my ignorance of not signing him right away when I should have. But 6-2 win against the Devils, that's something to celebrate there. Manila injury. All right, he's in college still. I guess we'll simulate up to October 1st, and when we need to do all the scouting and stuff, then we'll end off the episode. And we also have to send Hossa and Lombardi and everyone down. So we'll just simulate up to October 1st here. Oh, top goaltenders, Broder, Hasek, Raw. Did I say Raw again? I meant Wah. Oscar's up there, number 8. Defenseman, let's see, is anyone up there for us? No. Lidstrom. How did I not see that? Left wingers, Brendan Shanahan is up there. Centers, Yzerman and Fedorov are up there. That's good. Right wingers, no one. Okay. Prospects, Daniel Sedin for the Wild, Brad Stewart for the Sharks, Roberto Luongo for the Islanders, Simo Gagne for the Flyers. I'm not going to even try that. Matthew Garon for the Canadians, Scott Hannon for the Sharks, Nikolai Antropov for the Maple Leafs, Tim Connolly for the Jets, and Marian Gaborik as well for the Jets. And now let's simulate up to October, and let's get the junior players sent down. Let's get Lombardi down to Victoriaville. Let's get Hossa down to Portland, and let's get Ward down to Owen Sound. So there you go. All those players are now down there with their junior teams, and this is our roster for this year, boys. Not looking good. Again, hopefully Fisher and Bergeron can shut it down, but just given their stats, I don't think so. So, yeah, it's going to be a weird season this year, boys. Any injuries at all is going to be trouble for us. And our lack of depth is rather concerning with the amount of stars that we have on our team, right? So, again, any suggestions, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.